Hello and welcome to Audiobook Connection, behind the scenes with the creative teams. I'm Becky Parker Geist and I'm your host. Audiobook Connection is your place to learn about the audiobook creative process and for authors to learn valuable tips on producing and marketing your audiobooks. This podcast is sponsored by Pro Audio Voices, helping great stories come alive through audiobook production and marketing. Welcome back to Audiobook Connection, where authors, narrators, and publishers learn how to navigate the ever-evolving world of audiobooks. I'm your host, Becky Parker Geist. I am the CEO and founder of Pro Audio Voices and Amplify Audiobooks. And today we're going to take a surprisingly important and often misunderstood topic, and that is audiobook ISBNs. So whether you're self-publishing, working with a distributor, planning a future audiobook launch, so your ISBN, it's more than just a number. It's the key to your audiobook's identity in the global book marketplace. So let's break down what you need to know about your audiobook ISBNs. So first of all, not everyone knows what an ISBN is. So what is an audiobook ISBN? So ISBN stands for International Standard Book Number. It's a unique identifier, and it's assigned to a specific edition of your book. It's like your audiobook's fingerprint in the publishing world. And they need to be different. So your audiobook ISBN or ISBNs need to be different from your other formats. So each format, print, ebook editions, large print, audiobook, they all have different and require separate ISBNs. Why? Well, that's because each format is considered a separate product. They're differentiated. And so the ISBN helps identify and hold that sort of the container of its specific properties. So if your ebook has an ISBN, that number cannot be reused for your audiobook. Okay, so now, why do ISBNs matter for audiobooks? Well, they do a lot more than just make you look official. They do several things. So first of all, they ensure that your audiobook can be found and tracked across retail stores, libraries, industry databases. They kind of tie your metadata together. So your title, your author name, your narrator or narrators, your publisher name, even the book description, so that the same book information, the same metadata, is recognized worldwide. And the third main thing that they do is they actually can help with discoverability. So librarians, booksellers, search engines, they are all relying on ISBNs to pull up accurate listings. So without your ISBN, your audiobook would be much harder to catalog in certain systems, and your metadata is more likely to be inconsistent across platforms. The metadata, all these things that I just described, these are your audiobook's sort of digital DNA, if you will. So think about metadata as the about information for your audiobook. Okay, that includes a lot of information. That's your title, your subtitle, your series name if it's a part of a series, your author pen name, the narrator or narrators who recorded the audiobook, your publisher if you have one, the language your audiobook is in, the genres, the keywords, and that's just the start. So there's a lot more information. Those are like the main things that are a part of your metadata. There are also things like your book cover or your audiobook cover, things like that. Now, when you assign an ISBN, you're basically submitting all this metadata to the ISBN agency, which is Bowker. The website is myidentifiers.com. So this is important because the ISBN record becomes this centralized reference point. It consolidates all your information across the internet. And just to give you a few more pieces of metadata that are included in this consolidated record are things like your bio, if you add it. Your narrator's bio could include your pricing information. So there's just a lot that goes into it. So if you update your description, or let's say you have a typo in your narrator's name and you go to fix that, and you fix it in this consolidated place, right, on Bowker, then that correction can be reflected wherever that ISBN is referenced. So it makes your book's presence more consistent and more professional. Now, one of the things that people ask sometimes is who shows as the publisher? So it's a common question, and if you self-publish or indie publish, who is going to appear as the publisher on your ISBN record? Well, if you purchase your own ISBN from your country's ISBN agency, if you're in the U.S., and now in some countries, they give ISBNs free to their country citizens. But in the U.S., we have to buy them. So if you purchase your own, then you are listed as the publisher. If you get your ISBN from a distributor, let's say like ACX or Findaway Voices, Spotify, In Audio, Authors Republic, and you accept a free one, then they would be listed as the publisher of record because they are the initial purchaser of the ISBN. So sometimes people will ask, well, how come it shows as, published by Authors Republic? Well, if you accepted their free ISBN, that would be why. It is not in your best interest to accept those free ones. And this is true for other formats of your book as well. Why is it not in your best interest? Because you're giving up, like many times, I think most of the time, that metadata information, they're not even going to bother entering it on your behalf. So it's free, but it's not really helpful, right? They'll assign it, but that's about as far as they go with it. So it's not as helpful as it might be, as you might think it would be. So if you want complete control, full control over your publishing imprint and the metadata, then owning your own ISBN is definitely the best way to go. Okay, there is through Authors Republic, if you are publishing your audiobook through Authors Republic and distributing it that way, they are a digital distributor. They're not actually a retailer. It's a pathway to get your book out into retail and library outlets. So they require 2 ISBNs, and people ask me about that, so we're going to cover that too. They assign 2 separate ISBNs for your audiobook. So one is for the retail version, when they sell it retail, and the other is for the library sales that it goes to. Okay, let's take a short pause. We'll come right back, and I'm going to share some tips for authors about your ISBNs. We'll be right back. Would you like to earn more from your audiobook sales? If you're an author with an audiobook, you may have noticed that royalties from Audible especially, and other platforms as well, are frankly kinda pathetically low, disappointingly low, and unfairly low considering what it cost you in effort and resources to create it. How is it the retailers are the ones making all the money off your work and investment? As someone who started in the audiobook industry in 1981, I've found it frustrating that authors keep getting shortchanged. The good news is that Pro Audio Voices just launched Amplify Audiobooks, a direct sale audiobook platform for authors that puts you back in the driver's seat. Earn 65% of the gross sales price that you set. Compare that to the percentage of the percentage that retailers give. Run promotions on schedule whenever you want. Create coupon codes. Build community with your customers since you'll know who they are and how to contact them. Work with a caring, responsive, supportive team to help you succeed all along the way. Get help with marketing. Get paid weekly. We're helping audiobook authors who are frustrated by painfully low royalties and the barriers that prevent them from managing their own products and customers. Amplify Audiobooks is a direct sale platform that enables authors to earn much higher royalties and have way more control. We're disrupting the audiobook industry by putting authors first. Get started today at proaudiovoices.app or go to proaudiovoices.com and click on the Distribution Amplify link. Join the movement. Okay, so here are just a few more things to keep in mind. So first of all, ISBNs are format specific. If you were to release an MP3 audiobook, that is a different form than a downloadable audiobook, or a CD audiobook. Again, that's different. Well, each one of those, the downloadable, the MP3, the CD, each one needs its own unique ISBN number. And they're permanent. So once you assign it, you can't reuse it. You can't go back and say, like let's say you use it for some ebook, let's say, and then you decide, no, I'm going to unpublish that. Well, that ISBN has already been used. You cannot reuse it. So they are permanent. And whether it's for your audiobook, even if you have assigned it as an audiobook, you can't change the title that is associated with it. And I believe that you can change the format. I'm actually not certain about that. So I'm going to be fully transparent. I'm not sure if you can change it from like CD to MP3 before you submit it. You might be able to. But be aware that once you assign it, then that's it. You're set. The audiobook ISBNs, they also can help with your international rights. So if you sell your book overseas, ISBNs actually make it easier for global cataloging and for distribution. And in some places, they aren't required. For example, Audible doesn't require ISBNs because they are using what they call their ASIN, which is the Amazon identifying number. But it's still, having one strengthens your professional profile and your metadata integrity. So it really holds that information together. You're much better off by including your own and declaring your own ISBN for your audiobook, even when you're distributing it to Audible. Now, if you are distributing through ACX, they do not give you the opportunity to ask for an ISBN or to offer an ISBN. But we do not recommend using ACX anyway, so that may not be an issue. Okay. If you pay attention here and want to follow my advice, then you wouldn't be going through ACX anyway. So, sort of to wrap up, so while ISBNs might seem daunting, they might seem like just another publishing chore, they're actually a really powerful tool for your audiobook's visibility and for your professionalism. Again, they tie all your metadata together, they help your book get found, and they give you control over how your work is presented in the world. And as you may know, if you are following this podcast, you may know that we are all about trying to help authors stay in control of their own work. So that's a wrap for today. Thank you so much for joining me here on Audiobook Connection. If you found this helpful, and I hope that you did, I encourage you to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with your fellow authors. A lot of people are looking for information that is helpful. If you found this helpful, please do share it. And if you have questions that I did not address about ISBNs or any other audiobook publishing topics, let me know. Just drop me a note. I love hearing from you. And you can reach out to us through proaudiovoices.com. So until next time, happy listening and even happier publishing. See you next time on Audiobook Connection. Thanks for joining us for Audiobook Connection, behind the scenes with the creative teams. Please take a moment to subscribe at audiobookconnection.com. The podcast is sponsored by Pro Audio Voices, helping great stories come alive through audiobook production and marketing. Learn more at proaudiovoices.com. Again, thanks for being with us, and please join us next week.